Better fastball, Cole or deGrom?
Well, the caveat here is that both of them have elite pretty much everything. So this isn't a put down to either one of them. These are hard tiebreakers. On the fastball, I'm going to go with deGrom because he averages around about 2 miles an hour more. Cole's fastball actually has a little bit more spin on it, but deGrom, with the velocity and the uptick in velocity we've been seeing in recent years, going to give it to deGrom.
I'm going to go with deGrom, and it's just from my eyes. I'm not using any analytics for this. I'm just looking straight at my eyes and what I see. Yeah, it's got 2 miles an hour extra on it, but he generates so many swings and misses on it. Cole does too, but the way deGrom can just dominate guys with a fastball, I'm not sure I see that from Cole, and I see Cole give up some homers with it a lot, or occasionally.
I completely agree with that, with what Rick is saying, but I actually will go with Cole. And the only reason why I'm doing this is precisely because of the swings and misses. That's exactly, I mean, I've never seen, and trust me, I do, let's be fair, I see Gerrit Cole a lot more than I watch Jacob deGrom, right? So let's just start from the beginning with that. But I think that Gerrit Cole makes like players look like fools at the plate. Like it really just the way he fools them, and it's all about the action. So I understand Andy's point in terms of speed, right? Obviously those 1.8 whatever miles that deGrom has on top of him, but I really think that the action on Cole's fastball, I take Cole's fastball, absolutely.
Both of them paired with the secondary pitches are devastating, and we're going to keep saying that as this segment goes on. Andy and Anthony, our next one. Better secondary pitches, Cole or deGrom?
I'm going to break this down real quick on the specific secondary pitches because it's hard to give an overarching answer. On the slider, I'm going to go with deGrom. Again, like the fastball, Cole's slider actually has a bit more spin on it, but deGrom's slider is 4 miles an hour faster. It's that much more wicked. Plus, he's a little bit more spontaneous in how he uses it. Cole's a little bit more rote, so deGrom mixes it in ways that can be a little bit more surprising. So deGrom on the slider, the changeup's just about even. You'd probably give the edge historically a little bit to deGrom, but as Marley alluded to, Cole's changeup is improving. It's on the rise, and it was absolutely filthy today, so I'm going to call that one a wash. And finally, the one area where Cole has an easy advantage over deGrom here is the curveball. That's a weapon. Cole is a full 4-pitch pitcher, where deGrom's really like fastball, slider, a little bit of changeup, and then a curveball that I know Rec wants him to use a little bit more. He doesn't use enough. So Cole, easily the better curveball.
Hey, I'm gonna go with deGrom. I'm just gonna do an overall. I'm gonna go with deGrom because I do like the fact that he uses his changeup more. I think his slider, although Cole's can be more effective, I do love the velocity he can use with it. He can almost use it a little bit as a cutter, so it can be very devastating. And the fact that he has the curveball and doesn't use that much, it's kind of similar to Cole's changeup. Cole has a decent changeup and doesn't use it that much. So to me, I'm gonna go with deGrom, and it's all just based off my eyes.
All right, Marley, you first on this one. Better mound presence, Cole or deGrom?
I'm going with Jacob deGrom, and it's a very clear reason. I tend to go with pitchers that move forward on the mound, that kind of look intimidating to the hitter, right? They cut that distance. So obviously someone like a Dylan Betances, right, who has that height. I feel like hitters talk to me a lot about that, and I think Jacob deGrom's delivery makes the hitter kind of like really wonder a lot more, and the mound presence, I think it is better.
Oh, that's a really interesting factor that I hadn't thought about, the physicality, because they both have this extremely intimidating ace-like domineering mound presence. I'm going to give it to deGrom too, for a reason similar to what I cited before on his pitch usage and the off-speed stuff, is that deGrom, I think hitters say he's that much more scary because you don't exactly know what he's going to do. This is the basic difference between the two. Cole is a real devotee of analytics and forms game plans and sort of sticks to them, whereas deGrom is not so interested in that stuff. He's reading swings, seeing how he feels, so hitters are even less sure about what's coming. But two guys who are very intimidating, and that's the tiebreaker for me again, is just the unpredictability of deGrom.
I got to go with deGrom here too, and that's a clean sweep for me, all three things. And it's more because having caught him and, going out there, when things go wrong, I've never seen him, get flustered. Yeah, he gets a little bit angry. Yeah, he absolutely uses it to his advantage and goes after the next guy. But I've never seen him get off of the guy that he is either. It's never taken him to that point where he gets too angry and stuff starts going all over the place. So he has the ability to stay calm, but be very intense. It's a great mix, and I just have never caught Cole, so I don't know him that well.
And to Marley's previous point, Rec, is it true that really the athleticism of deGrom and his length makes it feel like his fastball's halfway to home plate already when he lets it go?
Absolutely, and that length and his stride, he really uses his legs, and that stride is so long. There are times where I've watched him pitch thinking, how can he control that? Because it looks like he's almost lunging at the hitter, even though it's completely under control. It's a very athletic move.
All right, last one here, and everybody gets a shot. Marley, we'll start with you again. Who would you rather have in 2021? Is it Cole or deGrom?
Gerrit Cole. I think Gerrit Cole is due. He's very unhappy with the numbers he had last year. And Rick alluded to one number that Gerrit Cole is very unhappy with, which is those home runs off the fastball. And I think he's made those adjustments. That changeup was beautiful to watch today. I haven't seen a pitcher have, basically really, really good command of his 3 pitches. 3 out of the 4 this early in the spring. I think that Gerrit Cole looks fantastic, and I do believe that he's going to earn his 324 this year.
I gave all 3, categories to deGrom, so I have to go with deGrom. They have no choice. And I don't think anyone really can go wrong with either of these guys. They're 2 of, if not the 2 best pitchers. I'm going to give the edge to deGrom. I've been saying it for years now. He's probably the best pitcher in the game.
Yeah, he probably is. And it's tough to choose someone over Gerrit Cole in this category. I love watching Gerrit Cole. I love hearing Gerrit Cole talk about pitching. As I said before, he's a true ace. But if deGrom's like the best pitcher in baseball, that's who you have to choose as the answer to this question.